Hello everyone, this is Liam Sondhya. I am a software engineering student in International Institute of Professional Studies, DAVV Indore. This is my ninth video and today's topic is regression modeling. And we will understand through PDF, PPT, regression modeling with Python. Okay, regression modeling is powerful statistical. So basically, we will learn about what is regression modeling. Regression modeling is a powerful statistical tool. It is a statistical tool used to predict the relationship between dependent and one or more independent variables. Means it checks the relationship between dependent variables and one or more independent variables. This is technique plays a crucial role in various fields including finance, marketing, healthcare and more. This presentation will explore essential concepts and practicing implementation of regression modeling in Python. Focusing on model evolution and stepwise regression, let's dive into model evolution. So there are four root key points: mean squared error, root mean squared error, r squared or adjust r squared. First one is mean squared error. MSE mean square error measured the average square difference between predict and actual value. It measured the difference between predicted value and actual value. Lower MSE indicate better model accuracy. If the mean squared error is lower, mean the model is accurate. Second one is root mean squared error. uh, Root mean square error is the square root of MSE and provide an error measurement in the same unit as a dependent variable, offering better interpretability. Means it is a square of mean square error, and means it doubly check the difference between predicted value and actual value. So we can betterly know about dependent variables and independent variables. The third one is r squared. R squared measures the proportion of a variance in the independent or dependent variable explained by the dependent variable. Okay, r squared mean it the proportion of variance in the proportion of variance in dependent and dependent variable. Which one is higher and the lower? If a higher r square value signifies a better fit it. If the proportion of dependent variable in respect of independent variable is higher, then it's better. Adjusting r square means adjusting r square is modified version of r square that accounts for the number of dependent variables, penalizing model with too many features. Okay, we will I will give you the Python representation of it. Python libraries like scikit-learn provide comprehensive functionalities for evaluating regression model. Let us demonstrate concept using practicing examples. So this is the whole program about regression modeling. How to evaluate regression methods or models. Import pandas as PD. We import a package like pandas in PD from sklearn.liner model. From the import liner linear regression, we use linear regression. There are so many types of regression, so we use linear regression, and you will go through this program. You understand the regression modeling. So stepwise regression. First one is forward selection, backward elimination, and a stepwise regression. Stepwise regression is an automatic variable selection method that iteratively add or remove independent variables from a model based on statistical significance. This approach helps in finding the optimal set of features that maximize predictability while minimizing complexity. Means in this, the automatic variation selection method which iteratively adds or remove. This remove independent variable, first add and then remove. There are three process: forward selection, backward elimination, and stepwise regression. First one is forward selection. Start with an empty model and iteratively add the most significant variable at the step, at the each step. Okay. Backward elimination, start with all variables and iteratively remove the least significant variable at each step. stepwise regression, a combination of forward selection and backward elimination, considering both adding and removing variables. Okay, this is the stepwise regression implementation in Python. You can go through it. We use package import pandas spd, import state models.api, load. This is a comment because we use h diagram. We will learn in first video. So this is all about stepwise regression. Okay, with model validation. After model selection, it's crucial to validate its performance on unseen data. This step ensures that model generalize well the new data and avoids overfitting. Uh, train There are two types. Model validation have two types: train test split and cross validation. Okay, divide the data set into training and testing sets. Train the model on the training set and evaluate its performance on the testing set. Okay, means divide the data set into trainings and testing sets. Divide the data set into training and testing sets. Then train the model on training set and evaluate its performance. First we train the model on training set and then evaluate its performance. It means what it does and what is the advantages and disadvantages of it. We test in testing set. Okay, then next one is cross validation. Divide the data set into multiple folds. We divide the data into multiple folds, basically 5 or 10. Train the model on all fold except one validation. We train all the models and evaluate performing on the validation fold. The interpreting regression model results. This is the interpretation of it. The final step is analyze the regression coefficients, p values and confidence intervals to gain meaningful insights from the data model. Coefficient, p value, a coefficient interval. The coefficient is 1.23, p value is 0.01. So the coefficient interval between these two is this. You can go through this table and understand the interpretation of regression model results. These statistics relieve the strength and direction of relationship between independent variable and dependent variable. You can go through this table and you understand the statistical relief, the strength of direction of the relationship between independent and dependent variables. For instance, a positive coefficient indicate a positive relationship if there are an instance which is positive coefficient, then it indicate this there is a positive relationship. If and while a negative coefficient indicates that there is a negative relationship. Okay, so the whole concept of regression modeling is all about providing a powerful framework for analyzing relationship between variables. Means we find the relationship between dependent and independent variables and then a stepwise process on the dependent by adding, removing on it and implement in on the Python just for understanding. Predicting future outcomes and making data driven decisions. By understanding and implementing various regression techniques, data scientists and analysts gain valuable insights from the data and contribute the better decision making across the variable. So the main point which you need to understand is stepwise regression. What is it? Stepwise regression has 3 points: forward selecting, backward elimination and stepwise regression. So stepwise regression is an automatic variation selecting method. Means it automatically select and iteratively add. Iteratively means repeatedly adds and removes the independent variable from the model based on a statistical significance. This approach helps in finding the optimal set of features that maximize predictive accuracy while minimizing complexity. Okay, first one is forward selection. Start with an empty model and iteratively add to the most significant value at each step. It find the most significant value in every space and iteratively add it. Then backward elimination. Start with a variable that iteratively remove. Means it select a variable and least one in these all variables which is the least one, and remove it iteratively a variable and step by step, and perform stepwise regression on it. A combination of forward selection and backward elementing, considering both adding and removing variables, are those. So this is all about regression. Regression modeling provides a framework for analyzing relationship between variables, predicting future outcomes, and making data driven decisions. So thank you for today. This is all about regression modeling.